Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining once again. I really appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about building chest muscle, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to build the muscles up here in the pectoral area. A lot of people want these tips. I get asked these questions all the time from lifters, bodybuilders, anyone who wants to build muscle in their chest. It's one of those areas that guys love to build. Chest, arms, shoulders are usually the hot topics. So what you see here in the video is the flat bench. I don't do a lot of flat benching, although I think it is an effective exercise for building overall strength and mass. Speaking of the flat bench is what we call a compound movement. A compound movement. So movements like a barbell row, a flat bench, an incline press with a barbell or two dumbbells. Those are what we call compound movements. Movements like flies with dumbbells, pectoral flies on a pec deck, a fly machine, cables. Those are generally isolation movements. So you have compound movements, which are multi-joint, your big movements. And then you have isolation movements, which focus more on isolating the given muscle area. Your compound movements are what is going to build the most muscle and strength for any body part. Speaking of just the chest though, exercises like dumbbell bench press, incline bench press, incline unilateral presses, decline presses, flat bench, all those big exercises with barbell or dumbbells are what is going to build the chest muscle. Even the decline barbell is going to build significant chest muscle because they're compound movements. Movements like flies, pullovers, maybe not pullovers. Pullovers I would classify a little bit more of a compound movement because you can do a lot of weight with that one. But most of your flies and stuff for chest, those are your shapers. Those help fine-tune the muscle. But what I see a lot is I see guys who don't really have a lot of chest muscle doing shapers. And you need to have muscle before you shape the muscle. So focus primarily in the beginning on big, heavy compound movements and keep the rep range relatively low and build up a really good base of strength and power, because that's where you're going to build the most muscle with heavier weight, strength and power. Repetitions will help build muscle as well. It will take a little bit longer to build muscle with repetitions because typically you can't use as much weight if you're doing high repetitions. So if you're trying to get up into the 12, 15 rep range, you'll build a little bit of muscle there, but you're not going to recruit as much muscle fiber as if you did a heavier weight, because you need more muscle recruitment to move a heavier weight. And in terms of your workouts for the chest, I like to focus on one main compound movement, like a bench press, an incline press, incline dumbbells, or the floor press, something along those lines. And I pretty much use that as the focal point of that particular chest workout. So for instance, this particular workout you see here, the bench press was done, it was probably around 7 sets I did. So I worked up to a working weight, which was 275 on this day. And I did sets of 3 to 4 with that weight. The first set was 5 and then it came down to 4. So it was about 7 sets of 4 on this particular workout. And I pretty much just focused on that lift, getting the blood flow in the area, taking time to warm up and get into a lift and put some time into it. I know that using one exercise for the half hour to 40 minutes that you're in the gym is not fashionable, but it really does work. It really does work because you're putting time into that movement. And again, the more muscle fiber you recruit, the more chest growth you're going to get, even the more definition you're going to get. Okay, so take the time on the compound movements. This particular workout, I didn't even do any isolation exercises because I did the majority of the work on the compound movement. So if you're looking to build muscle in the chest, you need to be using a barbell or heavy dumbbells. I would recommend a rep range of between 4 and 8 for building the strength and power there to get the muscle recruitment that you need to build muscle in your chest. Most of the people who ask me about chest exercises, they always say they want the upper chest bigger and they want their chest bigger overall. If you want your upper chest bigger, it's the incline press on the barbell is what you want to do. I'll do a video on that one as well. You need to do heavy incline pressing to build an impressive upper chest. And the flat bench will recruit upper chest muscle as well, and as will the decline. So if you any one of those presses, you're going to work the whole pectoral muscle. You're not isolating any one part ever. You're going to work the whole muscle. And also what I like about focusing on the one exercise is you're going to get a lot of work into your triceps on this particular chest day. And I do full body workouts the majority of the time, so there's other parts of this workout that you're not going to see in this video. And you know, the other thing I want to say here is that I see guys come into the gym and it's the typical bro split. They'll start off on, say, the flat bench. They'll start with the bar, then they'll put on 135, and then they'll slowly work their way up to the pyramid, up to a weight that they'll do for however many reps, and then they go to a max. They max every time they go to the gym, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But they'll max out. Then they'll move on to the incline. It's like clockwork. I know the workouts before they even get started. Then it's the incline. They'll do the same thing. They'll start with the bar, work their way up to a heavy weight, and max out on that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Then sometimes they'll even go over to the decline. So now you're into 3 compound movements: flat, incline, and decline. They'll start with the bar, work their way up, and max out. Doesn't make a lot of sense. After that, they move on to flies. Sometimes 2 or 3 different kinds of flies. Dumbbell flies, cable flies, machine flies. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not even about overtraining. It's about putting in maximum effort into a lift. And if you're doing 3 presses, 2 or 3 different kinds of flies, unless you're heavily assisted, that is a non-productive workout. It's not productive. You haven't put enough volume into any of those lifts. Why do you need so many lifts in one workout? I'd rather see you do 3 different chest workouts in a week and do less volume each workout and really focus and concentrate on the exercise at hand. If you bench press right, or if you do the incline barbell bench press right, and you put in the intensity and the effort that's needed, you're not going to need really any other exercises. You're not, because you've put in the work on that one exercise. If you do incline barbell bench or incline dumbbells with the proper weight, and you really work the muscle to momentary muscle failure on your sets, and you've selected a weight that you can handle for 3 to 6 repetitions, and that last repetition is a grinder at the end there, and you do 5, 6, 7 sets on that exercise, what else do you need? What else do you need? And I'll tell you right now, if these workouts that I see people doing, where they'll do a chest workout and do 5, 6 chest exercises, 3 or 4 sets of each one, if they worked so well, everybody's chest in the gym would be big, and they'd all be benching a lot of weight. And guess what? They don't. They don't, because they're not training properly. You can't train with that many exercises on one body part in one given workout. What good is that going to do you? What good is that going to do you? Unless you're an IFBB pro bodybuilder and you're about to get on stage, and again, you're assisted heavily, you're geared up heavily, that's the only time that stuff will do any good. If you're a lifter who's lifting recreationally because you want to look good, feel good, look good at the beach, look good in your clothes, look good out of your clothes, you don't need to do that much volume in one workout. You can do that much volume spread throughout the week, because muscle protein synthesis is only good for about 24 to 48 hours anyway. So you go into the gym on the typical chest day, which is Monday, and you do 15, 16 sets of chest on one day, and then you don't do chest again till the next Monday. Just think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Just think of that. And I want you to ask yourself a question. How many skills are there in life that you can get good at by doing once a week? So why would you think that principle doesn't apply to weightlifting? Okay, this whole once a week thing to me doesn't make any sense. It's something that caught on, and everybody does it. So everybody just follows the herd and does what all the other sheep do, because that's what everybody else is doing. So everybody else does chest on Monday, and so they go in there and they pound their chest on Monday, and they don't do chest again until the next Monday. And everybody's chest looks like a chicken. It looks like it belongs on a chicken. So if doing chest for 12 to 15 sets in one workout, if that worked, everybody should look like they should be on the cover of a magazine. And they don't. There's no chest muscle to be found. So think this stuff through. Instead of doing 15 sets in one workout, do 5 sets 3 times a week. Work the muscle more frequently. Get more stimulation into the muscle. But 15 sets in one workout, and then you're going to wait a week to do it again? I go back to the original question I asked you. How many skills do you know of in life that you can get excellent at doing if you only practice it once a week? It doesn't happen. So why would you think it would apply in weightlifting? If somebody was playing a guitar and they wanted to get good at playing the guitar, you think they would get good at playing the guitar if they practice once a week? Somebody wanted to play the flute. You think that they would get good if they practiced it once a week? You can't. You can't get good at it. You can't get good at anything doing it once a week. You need multiple times on the compound movements throughout the week. I would say 3 times. 2 to 3 times would be where you want to be. You do an incline press on Monday, and on Wednesday, you can maybe do some dumbbell presses. On Friday, you can do maybe some floor pressing. Now, remember, it's not a whole chest workout each time. You're talking 3, 4 sets each workout. So it's the same volume you've been doing, it's just spread out over more days. So you're touching the bar more. You're getting the joints going more. You're getting the muscle. You're keeping that tension on the muscle. And I would even say that your chances of injury are going to go down because you're touching the bar and you're using that movement more often. I would say your injury goes up higher if you're doing something once a week. You can't even get your body conditioned to something once a week. So it's okay to do a muscle more than once a week. It's okay to use a heavier weight. Use common sense. Warm up. and work your way up to a weight that is about 80 to 85% of your 1 rep maximum, and go from there. Eat an adequate amount of healthy foods, hydrate, proteins, carbohydrates, and you will see massive gains. Hope this has been informative. Have a nice day.